Hi everyone. This is a small comment on this book, The Art of People by Dave Kerpen, and let's see if the 11 simple people skill that will get you everything you want. So it's just a matter of interacting with people, how to make them feel important, instead of just focusing on listening to yourself and being the center of the attention. Okay, not everyone can have this kind of approach. And another thing is, what's very important is the eye contact, making sure that you're not like you when you converse, when you chat with someone, it's important to make them feel like you're a good listener by not moving all the time, paying attention to what they say, listening, not interrupting, because you just want to listen to yourself. This is a big no-no actually in communication skills, because if you just interrupt the person, it means you just want to listen to yourself, and what the person is saying on the other side, well, is not important. So I've met Latin speakers who are very respectful. They let you speak, and there's no problem. And have met some people that just interrupt you all the time, every 5 seconds, and they tell you, well, this is just the way we speak. So it's very rude. And in America, we don't do that. It's quite impolite. In business, you have to adapt to different cultures, because we open the borders to other cultures, and trying to interact and trying to make money. But it's important to have universal rules, even though you were raised in a different way. So communication is a big reveals a lot about you. So let's see, we have a big content, and for what I'm seeing, understanding yourself and understanding people, you cannot understand people without understanding yourself. If you don't know yourself, you're not going to be able to sell, to communicate, to get what you want. So there are some big exceptions. Some people, they don't go by the rules, and they tend to be a bit antisocial, and they tend to be very hard, but it's some very rare. So this guy, I don't know this guy. It seems like he was a big shot, and he was paid for different appearances. From 5 to 10,000. He was hanging out with the famous people and everything, but he felt miserable, very lonely, and he started talking about Carrie, a woman he fell in love with, and they were working together in the Radio Disney offices in Boston, and she became number one salesperson. He became number two, and he was the best, and she became the best. So anyway, so she was married, and she moved to New York in order to focus on making her marriage work, and he decided to go on a reality TV show to find another soulmate. It doesn't really work like that. You don't really find a soulmate very easily, but anyway. So Fox Paradise Hotel filmed in a 30 million home in Acapulco, Mexico. Jesus Christ. This is a big problem here, because you have so many people just getting by in Mexico, and you have like a 30 million home in Acapulco, Mexico. The show featured 18 sexy singles at a luxury resort trying to hook up or check out, and me. Staying on the show had been a challenge for me, as I was very different from most of the model, actor, cast members, and they didn't like me. Yet somehow, week after week, I was able to maneuver my way out of getting voted off during the weekly elimination ceremony. And 31 weeks in, I was still standing. And 31 weeks in, I was still standing. I had orchestrated my way to the top through careful favor, currying, and relationship building with both the players, the cast, and the game makers, the producers. I somehow have gotten even people who hated me to vote for me to stay on the show, and the real influencers, the producers, to drive a storyline that had me there week after week, the lone nice guy on the island of pretty boys and girls. But I was still unhappy. I missed Carrie and felt empty in my work, or lack of work, both. during and in the month after the show. When I dialed that number that night after walking the red carpet in Los Angeles, I was hoping to reconnect with the one person I had met who got people better than I did. Wow, hey Dave, Carrie replied. Crazy to hear from you after a year of not talking and watching you on TV. What are you up to? I'm hanging out with the stars of American Idol, I said, secretly trying to maintain the semblance of pride. And you? I'm hanging out at home. Actually, I'm going through a divorce right now. I'm so sorry to hear that, Carrie, I said while doing a fist bump. Yes. With a hand not holding the phone. Actually, I have to be in New York to meet with my agent in 2 weeks, I figured. 2 weeks later, I was on a flight to New York. 1 month later, I was dating Carrie, and 2 months later, I was moving to New York for her. Since that phone call, I've been fortunate enough to enjoy 11 amazing years with Carrie by my side. Blissful years that have brought me three terrific children. Two were two very successful businesses and two best-selling books. Although there have been obstacles, challenges, and downtimes, I've been both happier and more successful than in my wildest dreams, thanks to Carrie and the many other people I've formed productive, fulfilling relationships with over the last 10 years. Not only that, along the way, I've learned something invaluable about life, about myself, and about human beings in general. You can't achieve happiness or success in a vacuum. It all hinges on the bonds you build with the people around you. In my first book, so The Way to Sell his first book, I didn't know he had a first book. Well, two very successful and two best-selling books, so yeah, so at least he had two great books. In my first book, Likeable Social Media, I shared a blueprint for being a successful marketer, navigating the fast-changing world of social media. In Likeable's business, I shared a blueprint for building a successful social business. Now it's time to think bigger. It's time to think about what it takes to be successful in getting everything you want out of your career and your life. I'm writing this book to share this blueprint for success with you. Don't like his words writing, but it's okay. Talent, luck, hard work, courage, grit, persistence. I could go on for hours about what others says it takes to be successful. But although these things aren't unimportant, what it ultimately comes down to is people. How well do you understand people? How well can you communicate with people? And how well can you get people to do what you want them to do? People matter more than anything in getting what you want in your job, career, and life. The relationships you have with other people, big and small, make all the difference between a dead end career and an empty existence. Like the one that was sucking the life out of me in Los Angeles, and the full life and thriving business I enjoy today. This is the art of people. So, you may think the hard driving, take no prisoner self promoter is a person who ends up on top, but today it is actually the person with the best people skills who gets everything she or he wants at home, at work, and in life. It's true. Without social skills, you stagnate. You're not gonna go anywhere. It's just the way it is. So, good introduction. I like it. I feel hooked, and I'm like that. Let's say the first 3 pages, 4 pages. If I'm not interested, I'm not gonna read the book. So it's a bit mean, but I tend to be very strict on this level. So the style is okay. It's okay. I like it. So what I can do in the future is to go through all the different tips and let's see if it works. So of course we understand he has two books, Likeable Social Media and Likeable Business. So let's see if we can find them somewhere. I wrote about how being likable and what that stood for, listening, storytelling, and building relationships based on authenticity and transparency. If people are used to lying when they sell, if they are caught lying, the person in front will never listen to them anymore. In business, if you're trying to sell something to me, let's say a vacuum cleaner, and you lied about something concerning this product, I'm not gonna listen to you. It's like you're trying to hook me, to scam, to sell me a scammy vacuum cleaner. I don't care. Well, be careful. You need to be authentic, genuine. Do not overdo it, and try to be, grounded. To sound natural. If you are over the top, people feel that. They're not dumb. So, transparency is critical for success in online marketing. He's very pushy with his books. But building relationships and being likable isn't important just in social media or within a company. It's important out in the wider world as well. It's important in every single interaction you have with every single one of the people you will encounter, from the receptionist at your client's office to your first date, from your boss at work to the influential woman on Twitter who can help you sell more of your product, from the venture capitalist who might invest in your startup to the guy who went to high school with whom you see only on Facebook now. This is the art of people. Yeah, he's writing like he's speaking. Whether it's online or offline, the interactions and relationships with the people around you, who these people are, and what are they willing to do for you, will determine how successful you will be. How have empty, weak relationships with the people around you, and every challenge you face and every obstacle you encounter will feel like trying to push a boulder up a hill on your own. Cultivate authentic, it's important, mutually beneficial relationships built on trust, respect, and cooperation. Getting the boulder up that hill will feel a lot easier thanks to the team of people pushing behind you. This book will help you with those interactions and relationships because it describes the 11 essential people skills that, when mastered, will help you get more of what you want in any situation. This is the other people. Many of the tools, tricks, and tips contained in this book may surprise you. They certainly often go against typical business and success wisdom. But then, if typical business and success wisdom worked, everyone would be widely successful. No, the truth is that even if that traditional wisdom once worked, the times have changed. You may think the hard-driving, take no prisoners self-promoter is a person who ends up on top, but today it is actually the person with the best people skills who gets everything she or he wants at home, at work, and in life. Today, people skills are more important than ever. They are the key to getting what you want, both at work and outside it. We are constantly connected to one another. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and other social media have become the primary way we communicate with others. Plus, in today's world, there is so much noise. We are trusting personal referrals more than ever. We have a short attention span, and so we are listening to the people who get us, and whom we trust. As a result, the key to wielding influence and getting what we want is to be the person others like, respect, and trust. This book is going to discuss, I don't like the way he writes now, I'm a bit annoyed, to discuss 11 people skills I have learned that will change your life at home and at work. Within the description of each major skill, I'll share stories from my life as well as the lives of some of the most successful and influential people in the world to help illustrate my points. We'll begin with a self-assessment available in the appendix and another available online at artofpeoplebook.com. Along the way, we'll learn the 11 key people skills through 53 bite-sized lessons you can put into practice right now. A lot of business books are filled with theory, but readers walk away from them wondering what to actually do. Wondering what to actually do. This isn't one of those books. Every chapter will close with a set of first action steps to take fast. You walk away with dozens of practical ideas about how to communicate better with people and get what you want at work and at home. Before we start, I urge you to take the assessment in Appendix A. It's a take on the Enneagram, a central personality test to help you understand what values you're most driven by and how others can best communicate with you. This won't change with time, but you should take this quiz, that you learn more about how to connect better with others, and in turn get others to respect and like you. One of my core values in responsiveness, and so even though a book is a static one-way communication channel, if you have comments or questions along the way, I want you to contact me. If you want to scream in anger or applaud with excitement or baffled with a assertion, or simply want to come to experience this book by having a conversation with its author, please don't hesitate to contact me. So la 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 la. Okay, let's get started. Understanding yourself and understanding people. So I don't remember what he said. Appendix A. So I'm page 26 here. Let's see. Okay. So so this assessment originally appeared in Awareness to Action, the Enneagram, Emotional Intelligence, and Change by Robert Tynan and Mario Sikora. So he made a few minor changes to adapt it to this book. Okay, so there's also a PDF you can download. La 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 la. Okay, 1, almost never. 5, almost always. Creative, personality type 1, type A. Creative and have an artistic view of life, almost always. So I'm gonna put 5, and I don't think it should be a big one. But anyway, yeah. I tend to be a bit... it's a bit big. It's a bit big. Sorry, there is like a guy selling tacos, or no, tamales on the street. So, feel different from others as if on the outside looking in. Yep. Tend to experience more melancholy than most people I know. Tend to be overly sensitive. Feel that something is missing in my life. Feel envious of others, people, relationships, lifestyle, etc., etc. So it's a bit weird. To be sensitive, it's very interesting, because being sensitive is just a matter of perception. Some people are super cold, and they feel like they're not allowed to feel anything in their lives. And when people do feel things and they're connected to nature, they feel like they're emotional, and it's not true. It's just being balanced. Balance with your surrounding, balance with nature, balance with people. And when you are aggressed, well, you're not gonna stay like a cold rock, not reacting. You may have to react by saying something, or with a different body language, be different face, etc. And many people, they can tell you like, you're emotional. No, I'm just normally reacting to aggression. So, and most of the people I've known who are trying to be in control of their emotions, they don't allow themselves to be emotional, or the most emotional people I've known, because they don't know how to deal with their own emotions. So the only way for them is to block, but they don't know how to deal and manage. They are not good emotional managers. So blocking doesn't mean you are in control of your emotions. It means you don't know, you are handicapped on this level. So anyway, we have different personality types, and I think there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, and there are way more. No, let's see. Yeah, so that can be interesting to do. If you need the PDF, I can send it to you if you want. And I'll do it when I have more time. And let's see if it's really good. So if I want to go back to page 25, what am I supposed to do here? Okay. Oop. I think that's here. Okay. Okay, this, I was there. And the first chapter, Myers-Briggs means nothing. This means everything. Okay, I thought another touchy-feely personality activity. I was on a retreat, so he talks a lot about his life at the Canyon Ranch Resort in Miami with fellow forum members of the Entrepreneurs Organization, a global network of CEOs that includes some of my best friends in the world. Normally, I'd be having the time of my life at such a retreat, but for me, a type A personality who's always on the move and never likes to stop, at this time in this particular location, I was struggling to stay engaged. Relax is not a word I'd ever liked. And after 2 rounds of yoga and meditation, the last thing I wanted to do was sit through 4 hours of a personality assessment I had never heard of. I cannot do that. But I braced myself and forced myself to keep an open mind and a positive attitude about the experience. I'm glad I did because the 4 hours that followed changed my life and the way I communicate with others and understand myself forever. This is the Enneagram. Our psychologist instructor, Brad Kirschensteiner, informed the 8 of us. While much less famous than the Myers-Briggs or the DISC assessment, is actually far more reliable than those two or any other personality assessment for that matter, and its wisdom has been used and passed on over centuries. Now I was intrigued and paying attention. Over the 4 hours that followed, I picked up a wealth of information about myself and how people can best communicate with me. Moreover, I learned about the 9 major motivators for people and how we can best communicate with all people on the basis of their Enneagram. Type 1, types 1 through 9, Enneagram and 9. As Brad assessed all 8 of us and talked to us about our Enneagram types and the communication implications for each one, I was blown away by how accurate it all was. It was like he was reading my mind. Self-awareness is a fundamental building block of the art of people. You can't understand and influence others until you fully understand yourself at a deep level. So before we go any further, that's important to do the Enneagram test. Okay, so I'll do that, and I'll get back to you guys pretty soon, and we can keep reading.